So it happened. I finally did what my partner has been asking me to do for months. I put wall jumps into my game. Every time my partner plays Dark Moon, she has a lot of fun. Sometimes it's hard to get her to stop playing it when we're hanging out. But when she got to this room specifically, she'd almost always say, "I wish I could wall jump." At first, I responded to this by saying, "I'm sorry, I don't think I'm going to put wall jumping into the game. I don't think it needs it." But she kept saying it, and the idea kept bouncing around in my head, and it became clear to me that, well, I felt like the game didn't need it, and my partner validated that the game would be okay without wall jumping. She clearly would have even more fun with the ability to wall jump. And it made me think, I should challenge my assumptions about my own game. Why shouldn't the game have a wall jump? When I thought about it, I realized it came down to 3 things. 1, I didn't know how a wall jump for Dark Moon should work. I wasn't sure what would feel good with a platforming system that was already in the game. 2, if I made a fairly unrestricted wall jumping system, where you could easily climb up a wall, then you could reach some out of bounds areas that you're not meant to reach. And 3, I was wary of adding something that amounted to just scope creep. But the thought of adding wall jumps kept coming back, and so I decided to experiment with adding them. My first attempt was to add a more complicated type of wall jump inspired by the wall kicks in Pseudo Regalia, a really cool indie platformer. I thought, if the wall jump is interesting and complex enough, with enough added variety to Korai's moveset, then it'll be worth it. I added the ability to perform a flying kick if you pressed jump while holding down and in midair. You could only perform one before landing on the ground again, to limit the ability to scale walls infinitely. In this prototype version, when the kick hit a wall or an enemy, it would trigger a normal jump, sending Korai straight up, and damage the enemy a little with high knockback. I think the concept of a move like that, which allows you to kick off enemies and send them flying at the same time, is pretty cool still. But it just didn't feel very good in the context of this game, with the way I had programmed it. Granted, I think I could probably polish it and make it feel pretty decent, but as it was, it felt awkward to initiate, and the limitation on the number of times you could jump felt hard to keep track of. It was a subtle thing, but it made a difference. It was at this point I realized that I was going about this all wrong. I was trying to justify the wall kick by making sure it was specifically complex and unique, and added more dynamic options to the game. But I don't want to add needless complexity to the game. And when I showed the prototype to my partner, she didn't even like it. Neither did I, really. So it definitely wasn't the right direction to go. I decided to try again a few weeks later, because the wall jump idea was stuck in my head at this point. This time I tried to make something that would feel seamless and intuitive within the game's platforming engine. Something which didn't require learning a whole new button combination or a new attack, and didn't require any tracking of resources. The example being the number of jump kicks you can perform before landing. With that in mind, this is what I came up with. The wall jump in Dark Moon is a very powerful one. Simply pressing the jump button when next to a wall will make you jump up and away from it. Wall jumping also resets your double jump. In order to make the wall jump feel distinct and satisfying, it has a new front flip animation. The first few frames of the jump lock you into movement away from the wall. It's just long enough to communicate that Korai is in fact pushing off from the wall, but just short enough that you can easily turn around and even land on top of a platform you've just bounced off. The wall jump is fun, intuitive, and most importantly, unintrusive. It feels like it adds to the game without overtly complicating things. 2 other small details are what really brought the wall jump together for me. 1, Korai now slides around the edges of ceilings automatically, when before he would have bonked into them. So his interaction with ceilings and upward slopes feels a lot smoother now, and it made me more comfortable with the idea of incentivizing the player with a wall jump to interact with these sorts of terrain pieces more often. The other detail was to address my concern about Korai being able to reach out-of-bounds areas. At first I tried including an invisible wall that you crash into to prevent you from getting too high, But it turns out hitting your head on an invisible ceiling doesn't feel very good. So I decided instead to add something that limits wall jumping directly. These purple walls prevent you from being able to wall jump, naturally limiting the ability to climb forever. I can place these wherever needed and instantly limit where Korai is able to go. I don't know exactly what the surface is supposed to be in the lore of Dark Moon. Is it slime, cursed, ice, magical corruption? The beauty of it is that I don't need to decide. It's visually distinct enough that an explorative player will easily come to the conclusion, with just a bit of experimenting, that they can't wall jump on it. And that's that. Suffice to say, my partner was overjoyed when I showed her the new wall jump mechanics, and I'm happy with it too. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please like it, comment, or share it around. Let me know what your favorite wall jump mechanics are. And if you're excited for Dark Moon or want to see more Dark Moon devlogs, please subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. And as always, have a great day.